At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Krueger. It is your Friday edition of Coffee with Krueger, getting ready for the weekend. And of course, you're getting ready to kick off the Red Bluff Roundup tonight. It looks like we've got some great weather. I mean, just, we were a little concerned over the last week that we might see some rain for the latter half of the Red Bluff Roundup on Sunday in particular, but now it looks like we're pushing off the rain not only Monday, but most likely Tuesday is when the valley will start to see some of that rain. But until then, gorgeous. Look at the beautiful shot coming in from our Divine Restaurant camera here in Redding. And you can see just the beautiful sunrise there, Mount Shasta off in the distance. The trees, if you look, are blown a little bit in the wind. I do expect those winds to pick up here as we take you through the afternoon before dying down again as we get closer to the evening. Here's a look at your Krueger's Quick Cast for your Friday, April 17th. Let's get you right into it. Those temperatures, 40s, even some 50s. Just those winds blowing, keeping those kind of erratically. Some areas not as strong, so that's why our temperatures are anywhere from the low to even upper 40s. 13 degrees right now in Alturas, 23 degrees for Susanville, and it looks like 35 for Eureka, but Crescent City, a bit of a wind at 46 degrees right now. Out the door this morning, the valley in the mid-40s. The winds will start to kind of ramp up a little bit here as the sun comes up. Otherwise, you're looking at temperatures in the 20s and 30s for the higher elevations. We got a good morning coming in from Jackie in Trinidad. Good morning to you, and good morning to everyone else. There's that storm system off to our west. It is approaching. It may bring us a few clouds later today, but that's not the actual storm that will bring us rain. It's low pressure way off toward north and west. It's over the Aleutian Islands approaching the Gulf of Alaska. That will eventually impact us by early next week. Winds a little gusty for some of the foothills just east of the valley. You can see those winds kind of ramping up this afternoon, or at least midday. 15 to over 20 mile an hour gusts. And I think the stronger winds will be around Red Bluff southward, but no need to worry if you're heading out to the Red Bluff Roundup this evening, because those winds will die down just in time for those gates to open and for the big event. You can see generally below 10 miles per hour. Rainfall chances, yeah, they're starting to pick up early next week, but I think the main event will be Tuesday into Wednesday before chances for rain once again decrease by the end of next week. Beautiful, beautiful afternoon, mid 70s for most of us in the valley today. It looks like in the 50s and 60s for the higher elevations, although inland you're in the low 70s and low 60s for the coast. Tonight we're dropping down to the mid 40s, low to mid 40s for the valley, 20s and 30s for the mountains, and upper 30s to around 40 on the coast. So I've got you dry through Monday. In the valley, that's right. The cutoff line where the rain is awfully close to the valley. So if we see a stray shower developing late in the day Monday, don't be surprised. But really, for the most part, we're dry through the weekend, most likely dry on Monday. By Monday night into Tuesday, that rain moving in. For the coast, that rain will move in as early as Monday, and maybe a sprinkle or two late in the day Sunday. So as the storm system approaches, it's a slow-moving system. So it's taking its own sweet time getting here. And of course, you can see the drier conditions even through Monday for Siskiyou, Modoc County, and the eastern mountains. All right, that's a look at your Krueger's Quick Cast. Let's take another look at that camera here at Divine Restaurant, overlooking the Sacramento River. Then, of course, looking off in the distance there at Mount Shasta. Beautiful, beautiful looking at that sunrise here this morning, and a little breezy in some spots this morning. Taking a look at Lake Oroville this morning. Also, looking at some beautiful colors out there this morning from the sunrise. Here's a look at Main Street, Chico on Highway 32. Looks like the traffic is flowing along smoothly there. Highway 99 at Neal Road. You can see the clear skies that we have this morning. The camera blown a little bit in that wind, so yeah, a little breezy in some spots this morning. Gorgeous sunrise out at Crescent City Harbor District. What do they say? I always forget, and I'm not even going to try to attempt it because I think I'm going to totally butcher the saying about Sailor's Delight or something like that. All right. Catherine Schmidt saying, cold this morning, 21 degrees in Castle area. Really need hot coffee this morning. I know I've got it, although not nearly as cold here in the valley this morning. With those winds blowing, it's keeping those temperatures actually fairly mild. Beautiful shot there in Crescent City. Let's take a look. See what it looks like right now in Elk Country, just north of Trinidad. Kind of looks like it's pretty clear out there this morning as well. So there you can see again, looking out at Crescent City this morning. Let's take you now to Bald Hill West. Looks like it's still a little bit of low clouds and fog out there into the Hoopa Valley. We take a look at Fort Jones this morning. This is in Scott Valley. Not much in the way of any fog. It looks like a little bit of high cloud cover there off in the distance. And taking a look at Lassen Park. Yeah, that bench, we're starting to see more and more of the bench, and we're starting to see more and more of things popping up as we see more and more of that snow begin to melt. Well, today is Friday. We've got our Haven Humane Society Pet of the Week. This week, we meet a dog named Caden.
Hi, this is Maisie with Haven Humane Society in Anderson, and this is our pet of the week, Caden. Caden is a 1-year-old German Shepherd mix who weighs about 65 pounds, and we have learned that he does not like to look at the camera. In just about every other way, this dog is perfect, and we're really scratching our heads wondering why he's still here. He's incredibly smart, treat and toy motivated. He knows sit, down, stay, and paw. He loves to play fetch. He loves playing with toys. He walks well on a leash, and the only time that he doesn't is when he sees another dog. I can't emphasize how much this dog would love to have a friend in his forever home. He does playgroup, and there hasn't been a dog that he hasn't enjoyed playing with. The only reason he pulls when he sees another dog is because he so badly wants to go up to them and make friends. He is just so well-rounded and well-mannered. He would do well just about anywhere. His adoption fee is $0, so if you're interested in meeting Caden, please give us a call at 530-241-1653, or if he's not scooped up, he will be at our adoption event at the Branch House by the Sundial on Saturday from 10 to 2, so stop on by and meet him and our other pups. Thank you.
All right, once again, so as she mentioned here, if they don't get the dog adopted today, they have an event. Again, I'll kind of double check here. Saturday the 18th, so that is tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Branch House Riverfront Bistro during their adoption event. So be sure to head on out there if you would like to meet Caden. Looks like an amazing animal. And yeah, like she said, kind of surprised this animal hasn't been adopted yet. Kind of interesting. All right, so earlier, just a second ago, I was saying, oh, I'm going to butcher the saying. So let's go ahead and take a look at the camera just so you can kind of see what I was talking about. Look at this. And so Catherine helped me out with the saying because I just, for some reason, just can't figure it out. Red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. Red sky at night, sailors delight. So, red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. There it is. Red sky in the morning. So, the clouds are off in the distance, and they will be moving in. However, and you know what? You do need to take warning, because even though the seas won't be that bad today or tomorrow, Sunday, yes, Sunday is going to be the day that you'll need to be on the lookout for that, because the seas are probably going to get a lot higher. All right, what do you say we get into actually, before we get to that, we need to mention our sponsor. Of course, we can't forget about our sponsor, and that would be, Wind River Resort and Casino. So grateful for them and their support of Weather NorCal and Coffee with Krueger, because without them, it wouldn't be possible. We're going to take a look at what's going on out at... See if we can get out of there. There we go. They got a lot of great events. I mean, Wind River always has something going on, right? So this Sunday, April 19th, so 2 days from now, they've got their show and shine. So they're saying, join us for the vibrant show and shine, celebrating the best in classic cars. From Chrome Line cruisers to vintage gems, you'll find a little nostalgia around every corner. So it's free for all ages, including adults and kids. Food trucks, craft vendors will be located outside the Porta Cash, and free event for all ages. So yeah, bring your fun. Bring your family, have some fun out at the Show and Shine this weekend out at Wind River Casino. I actually had an opportunity to check that out a couple years ago, and they did an amazing job. So yeah, be sure to check that out because it's really a cool show that they do every year. Let's get into our weather headlines and taking a look at the dry conditions through the weekend. I think everyone's going to be looking at dry conditions. Showers returned for the coast on Monday, but I think everyone else will still be dry. When I say the coast, even Trinity County and western Siskiyou County. But I think everyone else will be dry. And we're going to get into why on Monday we may see some activity in the valley, but I really want to hold off until Tuesday, Wednesday before the valley eastward sees that rain move in as well. And then drier and warmer for the end of next week, really towards, Thursday, Friday. We're going to get into our deeper dive forecast, and we're going to take a look at the timing of that rain coming in next week with a little bit more detail, a little bit more I think is going to happen in the deeper dive forecast. But first, a word from the Red Bluff Roundup.
Get ready for the largest 3-day rodeo in America. Over $350,000 in prize money. 3 days, April 17th through the 19th. Cowboys and cowgirls from across the nation come to Red Bluff to compete for over $350,000 in cash. Family fun for all ages at the Tehama District Fairgrounds. Don't miss this year's Red Bluff Roundup. Tickets available online and at the Red Bluff office.
All right, take a look if that doesn't get you excited about the Red Bluff Roundup. I think this will. If you're heading out to the Red Bluff Roundup tonight, I know I am. I'm very excited about it because as the gates open, people are getting ready to kind of get in. Temperatures will be in the low 70s. So by the time the big event starts at 7 o'clock this evening, it'll be 70 beautiful degrees. But once that sun sets, you're going to notice the temperature starting to drop. So if you're looking at like 50, somewhere in the upper 50s, even low 60s as a little chilly, then you may want to think about bringing a light coat once the sun sets, because it will, we're that time of the year. I mean, once that sun sets, it does kind of cool off pretty rapidly. The good news is the winds that we are seeing midday, they will die down by the time the event starts. So maybe a little breezy to start off, but it shouldn't be all that bad. So looks like some beautiful weather for the Red Bluff Roundup. Cool this morning. And you're seeing all these different temperatures in the valley, anywhere from the low 40s to upper 40s. And the reason for that, it's a little breezy in some spots already this morning. So where you're seeing the warmer temperatures, a little breezy. Otherwise, the cooler temperatures, the wind's a bit calmer. Much, much colder in El Tourist at 13 chilly degrees. 23 degrees right now in Susanville, 23 in Wairika, 46 for Crescent City, but much cooler in Eureka at about 35 degrees. So we have these clouds off to the west. Those will be coming in later today, tomorrow, really through the weekend. But this isn't what's going to bring us the rain. It's this right here. That's going to be moving in by early next week. But the timing of that, still a little tricky. Let's take a look at the long range. And, I've been comparing the European with the GFS, and really they're both in pretty good alignment at this point. So for now, because the GFS has really been ahead of the European forecast model, at least, it's kind of one of those things where the GFS throws some changes in there, and then a day or two later, the European comes on board, and then it's much more alignment. So here's what it looks like. Again, keep in mind when we're looking at this, the European is in pretty good alignment with this. So let's take a look at that. Here we are, Saturday, Sunday, dry. Area of low pressure dropping down to the south. Now, one of the things that we sometimes talk about is that sometimes when you get these areas of low pressure that cut off from the upper level flow, that is, you have an actual circle right here, right? That means that it's cut off from the upper level flow, and it can be a little unpredictable exactly where it's going to go. So what you got to watch right here is this ridge of high pressure. As long as this ridge is here, this area of low pressure isn't going to be able to really nudge eastward. But all you have to do is allow this ridge to move a little bit more to the east. That's going to allow this storm to kind of move on in. So, I say dry conditions through the weekend. But the thing is, the coast, you see that cutoff? I mean, the thing is, all you have to do is just shift this a little bit more to the east, and now you got rain for the coast, right? So it's not out of the question for the coast on Sunday to maybe see some showers moving on in, but I think it's mainly going to be on Monday that the coast, Trinity County, western Siskiyou County, will see the rain. Maybe the valley getting in on that, but I think it's going to be Tuesday before it all pushes into Wednesday. By the time we get into Wednesday, we're kind of on the backside of the storm. Thursday, Friday, it's out of here. But we do have some energy diving down to the south. Now, this energy is something worth watching because it's going to kind of stall itself out over here. That may kind of destabilize the atmosphere a little bit, bring us more clouds, keep our temperatures from really warming up too much, and maybe bring a few showers as well, especially for the southern portions of the viewing area. Plumas County, Glen, Butte counties, for example, right? So let's take a look at Futurecast. And we're going to walk into the timing of all this. Of course, today, just gorgeous. So there you can see some of the high clouds trying to filter in later on this afternoon and evening, but otherwise, mainly clear skies. Now, over the weekend, I do expect more cloud cover to move on in because the storm systems, it's knocking on our door, right? So it's going to really filter in those clouds, but mainly just some of those high, maybe a few mid-level clouds. So the sun filtered through those clouds, so it's still going to be a gorgeous day. Then we go into Sunday, again, kind of that sun filtered through the clouds, rain knocking on the door still. So this is what I'm talking about. You see how close this rain is to the coast? If you see a stray sprinkle or even a light shower, some of the energy kind of coming around that flow could work its way as far east as the coast. But for the most part, even the coast will be mainly dry. And of course, everyone else will be looking at those dry conditions as well. Now let's take you into Monday. Now you see it pushing onshore. All right, so there's Monday. See that cutoff line? It is awfully close to the valley. So again, it's one of those situations where you shift that area of low pressure just a little bit more to the east, and now you've got rain in the valley. But I think overall, most of the rain, we're in pretty good alignment here. Trinity, western Siskiyou, all of the north coast, including the inland areas, seeing the rain. And you can see it's actually pretty good rain coming in as well, right? And then there you can see for the valley, dry. Central Siskiyou County, dry. All to the east of that, not only dry, but clear, right? So it's going to be an interesting kind of start to the week. If we see a stray shower developing late in the day Monday for the valley, don't be surprised. But it's not until Monday night into Tuesday that begins to move on in. So the winds, a little gusty this morning, especially off in the foothills east of the valley. But by midday, yeah, I mean, listen, it's going to be more of a nuisance wind than anything else, but you'll notice it, especially for Red Bluff southward. You can see gusts a little over 20 miles an hour. A little breezy off to the east, but nothing big. And then by this evening, just in time for the Red Bluff Roundup, 4 miles per hour. So we'll certainly take that over the 20, right? Especially if you're heading to the Red Bluff Roundup. So good news there. The winds are dying down across the board, really. Now, if you're heading out to the Red Bluff Roundup tomorrow, a little breezy. Now, of course, that's going to be a daytime, so it's going to be, through the afternoon. But yeah, south winds. We could see gusts close to 20 miles per hour. So yeah, a little breezy out there for your Saturday from the south. Sunday, as that storm system approaches, even stronger. So if you're heading out to the Red Bluff Roundup on Sunday, be prepared for the fact that you could see gusts 20, even 30 miles per hour from the south. But no rain, just the clouds. A little bit of cloud cover and gusty winds at times, but overall, temperature is pretty mild. And then it looks like a little gusty on Monday as well. All right, so let's take a look at our 10-day trend with those temperatures. They're going up, so beautiful. I mean, Red Bluff Roundup 3 days, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, beautiful, mid-70s. All right, can't beat that. Boom, those temperatures really drop as we go into next week. Now, I do think most of the rain for the valley will be right here. We could see a little bit on Monday. We'll see. We'll have to watch that. Again, it's all positioning of that low pressure system. When it's that close, when you're just right there on the edge, that can make or break a forecast right there. But then we go to the end of the week, and yeah, we're drying things out and warming up, upper 70s by the end of next week into that next weekend. Let's take a look at the wave heights. You can see they are dropping here for today and even for your Saturday. So good news if you're going to be on a small boat over at least the first half of the weekend. But by Sunday, those will probably start to increase again. I think by Sunday and Monday, we'll probably start to see some more small craft advisories. But no advisories today. North winds at 10 to 15 knots. Waves from the northwest at 6 feet at about 10 seconds. Here's your neighborhood forecast, sponsored by Dignity Health and Grange Co-op, Trinity County. You got those temperatures upper 60s, even some low 70s for your highs. So here's the deal. Trinity County westward, chance for showers mainly Monday. If we see a stray sprinkle, I'd say even Trinity County dry on Sunday. But Monday, Tuesday, there's that rain moving in. And then Wednesday, some lingering showers before drying out by the end of the week. All right, so for the coast, especially the immediate coast. Eureka, Fortuna, Ferndale. Well, that's not the immediate coast, but you get the idea. As you get kind of along the coast here, maybe a stray sprinkler or light shower as early as Sunday, but the main event won't be here till Monday, Tuesday. Inland, I'd say you're dry on Sunday, but Monday that rain moves in, Tuesday as well, stray showers Wednesday. Siskiyou County, all right? So we're dry through the weekend, but as we go into Monday, you're looking dry too. However, that line, again, that cutoff line is awfully close to Happy Camp and even for places like Scott Valley. So if you see a stray sprinkler or light shower in western Siskiyou County on Monday, don't be surprised. But everyone else, central eastern Siskiyou County, wet weather moving in Monday afternoon, Monday night into Tuesday, and then more showers Wednesday. Modoc County, you're completely dry all the way through Monday, even some clearing skies with more rain, with that rain moving in by Tuesday. Eastern Mountains, you're completely dry through Monday, rain moving in Tuesday. For the Valley, borderline big time. Paskenta, Elk Creek, better chance maybe for a stray shower as we go into Monday. But as you start heading more and more to the east, the chances are slimmer. But we can't rule it out on Monday, but the main event will be Tuesday. Some stray showers on Wednesday before drying out on Thursday for Chico. Up north, 74 degrees for Redding all the way down to Red Bluff, 74 in Palisadro, and 71 degrees in Lakehead, as well as Whiskeytown. There's your 7-day forecast for Redding. Again, I can't stress enough, dry for the weekend. I'm not concerned about rain at all for the weekend. It's Monday that is that transition day. We've got to watch that closely, especially if you have outdoor plans. That could certainly impact things for you. And then, of course, Tuesday. Tuesday is really when most of that rain begins to move in. There we go. All right, just kind of checking in some of the comments. Looks like Tanya is having a few issues with her feed this morning. My stream looks pretty solid and healthy, so it may be over on your end. Because it looks like everything's kind of solid here. We've got this morning. What do you got this morning? We've got Hannah saying good morning, Mike. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. I know I'm excited. The weekend is here. It's kind of a long week. It's kind of nice to kind of figure that out here. Tanya's asking this: did you end up drawing another name for the rodeo tickets? I'll go. I did. And what was his name? Tony Strickland. Tony Strickland was the winner. I felt terrible, but I hadn't heard anything from the winner, the original winner. Never got back to me. Never emailed back. So I just wanted. They're great tickets. They're box seats for tonight. And I was like, I can't let these go to waste. So I drew another name yesterday, and his name was Tony Strickland. And we communicated. I put them in will call for him, and he will go to the Red Bluff Roundup tonight and pick up his tickets. So I'm excited. Yeah, we had a winner. So we're very excited about that. Deb Ann saying morning. Well, morning to you as well. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. It is a beautiful morning, isn't it? And we've got some beautiful images coming in from our Divine camera this morning. Let's take a look at it. Oh, the mic goes on and off. It's kind of weird. Look at that. So we're starting to lose more of those colors, and kind of as we kind of get more of the daylight hours. But it was showed that the winds were actually blowing a little bit here. It looks like things have calmed down, at least over here. There you can see the Sacramento River looking a little ripply. So the winds aren't too bad, and mainly clear skies out there this morning. Beautiful, beautiful shot out there in Redding this morning. And take a look at some other cameras this morning, looking out at Soda Ridge. Another closer view of Mount Shasta this morning. Just beautiful. There you can see the ski park. Looks like there's some snow up there. That's probably Gray Butte that we're looking at with those lifts up there. But beautiful shot. And so that's going to do it for us this morning. We're going to leave you with a couple more cameras. There's a look at Scott Valley this morning. The sun just kind of peeking over those mountains into Scott Valley this morning. Should warm up here pretty rapidly once the sun does come out for many of you. Should be a gorgeous day. Get ready for a little breezy this afternoon for the valley, but otherwise those winds dying down later this evening. Until then, have a great weekend. Be sure to check in with Chase Wilson on Saturday, Sunday. He'll have your morning, noon, and evening updates for you. And I'll be back right here on Monday on Coffee with Krueger, right here at Weather NorCal. Have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday.